Paul is a translation of our name. Our name is a biblical name. It's Paul, which is Boaz, and my name used to be Bogosian, but it was subject to all kinds of pronunciations. So when I went to the University of California in 1935 or 6, I changed my name to Paul, which became the family name.
Varnum Paul was born in Lynn, Massachusetts on September 22, 1908, to Bedros and Elmas Boghosian. His father sold horseshoes in Karpert, Armenia, then became a shoemaker upon his arrival in America. The family moved to a ranch in Fresno when Paul was in the 3rd grade. Following his high school graduation, he attended the University of California, Berkeley, where he was a member of the Delta Theta Phi fraternity before graduating with a BA in 1930. He worked 2 jobs while in school as a hasher, serving meals at a women's sorority, and in the university library. Paul earned his law degree from the School of Jurisprudence at Bolt Hall in 1933 and was admitted to the California State Bar the same year. In 1935, he entered private practice when attorney Reginald Vaughn hired him to join his firm, to be followed by John G. Lyons in 1946, and the three formed Vaughn, Paul & Lyons, which has maintained offices in the Mills Tower building on Bush Street for more than 50 years.
I came back to San Francisco and rejoined Reginald Vaughn in practice of law, and we were in the same office then as we are now.
I was at a meeting, a function at the Olympic Club, and I didn't know Varnum at the time. And he heard my name, heard that I was Armenian, and he walked over to me, and he was probably I was maybe in my 30s, and he was probably in his 60s or so at the time. And he came over to me and he said, "Young man, I know you're Armenian, and do you have a business card?" And he gave me his business card. I believe it was the next day. He shows up at my office unannounced, just says, and he said, "Young man, you're Armenian, he's Armenian," and he just wanted to get to know me. He had no ulterior motive, and he showed an interest in me because I was Armenian. And it showed his caring about Armenian people in general.
During World War II, Varnum became a lieutenant commander in the U.S. Naval Reserve from 1942 to 1946 and initially served on the Aleutian Islands. He met Richard Nixon while both were subsequently stationed at the Alameda Naval Air Station, where they worked together on special legal matters for the Navy and became good friends. Upon joint assignments to the New York City Office of Naval Affairs, Nixon asked Paul to be his roommate in the then shared officers' quarters. The two maintained their friendship over the years, and when Nixon became vice president under Dwight Eisenhower, he invited Paul, his wife Lillian, and young daughter Karen for a private tour of the Capitol and the White House.
It reminds me of the saying that Soroyan had said, and it's been quoted a million times, about, you can do anything, you can destroy Armenians, you can kill them, you can do whatever, but anytime you get two Armenians together, it starts over again. And that's Varnum. He would be a catalyst to get Armenians together. He would try to give them business. He would try to get them involved in a very diplomatic and very unassuming way.
Varnum married Lillian Mozian Kandazian in Las Vegas in 1954. She had been a teacher before their marriage and later obtained her master's degree in Armenian studies at the age of 76. During their 51 years of marriage, they traveled the world together.
I think he's probably one of the most extraordinary men I've ever known, and that's not because he was my father. I would say, don't know how and where he got that from. It was not pretend, it was real. He was actually the most humble man I've ever met in my life. I miss him dearly. But I feel his presence, taking care of me even now.
Paul was particularly noted for his compassion and kindness towards others, as well as being a gifted conversationalist. I have never come across one person who could say that he got hurt by Varnum, admits Archbishop Derderian. Never, ever. It's amazing how someone could lead a life without a spot. To him, everybody was good. He tried to see whatever was good in the person's heart.
He cared so much about people. He was very proud of the community at St. John's, was happy at what they did as a community, and very privately wanting to make sure that this faith community kept its faith and remained strong in that faith. I think he would be excited to see the growth of St. John's Sunday School and the children that are there now. He would love to, we just had the festival, he would have loved to have seen all the young people who have grown up who are now taking part in putting this together. It would really warm his heart that the people are involved and committed to their church.
He never gave up, he never gave in. And he always was looking ahead to the future, to the welfare of the community, his family, and the church, and his clients. He was one of the most positive people I have ever met, but he never gave up. And he was determined to become 100. That was one goal that he met. And we were so grateful for that, because he really, even though he was in the hospital, it was a positive thing.
When Paul reached his centennial birthday on September 22, 2008, he received a congratulatory letter from President Bush and best wishes from Willard Scott on NBC's Today Show. People attributed his long life to the daily regimen he maintained for nearly 70 years, his optimistic outlook, and his enjoyment of others.
He would help Armenians every chance he had. He wanted, his goal was to keep meeting Armenians, keep talking to them, keep friendly with them. He helped me recognize how important the church is, to be a focal point for the community, and to be a place where people who need Christ, who need religion, who need God in their lives, to have a place to go. And regardless of your personal persuasions or everything, I think to him it's very important. It was very important that be the case, and I know I feel the same way. And I think he feels that way about the Western Diocese. I think it's a way to continue to build the Armenian communities, to continue to build the churches, to continue to have a place for the Armenians to congregate, to feel safe, to enjoy each other, to help each other.
His Holiness Karkin II sent a letter of condolences that praised his contributions. As a benefactor to the Western Diocese of the Armenian Church of North America, Varnum Paul placed great importance on giving back to his community in appreciation for the countless blessings given to him by Almighty God. Through his hard work, integrity, dedication, and worthy service, he was an example to his contemporaries and future generations of selfless generosity and honorable sacrifice. With his distinct vision and determination, Varnum Paul became a benefactor of the Mother See of Holy Echmiadzin as well, to bring his assistance and encouragement to the strengthening of the mission of the Armenian Church in the homeland and throughout the world. His efforts and generosity play a vital role in the renaissance of our spiritual and educational life. Varnum was the patriarch of our diocese, said Archbishop Hovnan Derderian, primate of the Western Diocese. We consider him one of the most inspiring leaders in its early formation and later growth. His engagement and active involvement have been very visible, yet he never sought any public recognition. He was a very wise man, because whatever Varnum earned in his life, he made sure every single penny was used for a good purpose. The message that he conveyed was that we cannot waste what we earn. It has to be offered back to the community. That was his philosophy.
And what's fantastic about a gift such as this that's been endowed is that we all know full well that as much as we enjoy the seeds that the Paul family planted through their endowments today, we also understand that future generations will also continue to enjoy the fruits that are born from those seeds which they planted. What a fantastic and wonderful thing that is to know that our children and our children's children will continue to be served by this unprecedented blessing which has been offered to our communities.
On October 1st, 2008, 9 days after his 100th birthday, Varnum Paul passed away peacefully at his home in San Francisco with his daughter Karen Kondasian and dear friends by his side.
How much longer will you suffer in this life?